Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rome Overlanding, and this episode is sponsored by Surfshark, but I'll tell you a little bit more about them a bit later on. Alrighty, so we've arrived in Wilderness. We are staying at the Ebb and Flow campsite in the Garden Route National Park, and it is stunning. We're right here on the water, got a beautiful campsite, we've got electricity, we've got everything. And this is making me miss my kayak like you cannot believe. This would be the perfect spot to have my kayak. Very jealous watching the people out on the water, but that's life. We'll have to come back here one day. Check these folks out. Look at that. Isn't that the life, hey? But we're gonna set up camp now. We're back in the ground tents. Andy's already got his set up. I'm gonna be setting mine up soon. And yeah, getting cozy. They got laundry facilities and stuff here, so we're gonna catch up on some laundry, a whole bunch of things. Then tomorrow we are gonna go for a beautiful hike up to the waterfall and go and see what's happening up that side. And I'm hoping to, while we're in the wilderness area, maybe get out and do some exploring in the vehicle as well.
Although sad to say goodbye to the caravan, I was pretty excited to get back to my new tent. I felt like I'd only really just scratched the surface with it at the beginning of the trip and was looking forward to the next few nights in it. Figuring out how to get my sleeping setup perfect in there was a challenge I was up for. Considering it's also my emergency kit, it's pretty good to know my way around it.
It's been a little while since I've had to make up my own home. Caravan life has been rather lush. Andy's become a pro at setting his tent up. But I must be honest, once you know how to set these tents up, it actually got pretty easy. Light-headed after that.
With our camp all set up, we were in the perfect position to chill out for the rest of the afternoon. I had some work to do on a video, and we had a bunch of chores to sort out in preparation for a busy day tomorrow. What an incredible spot to kick back, do a little bit of work, and relax.
Really nice to wake up to this beautiful view, the little river in front of us. Today we're going to tackle the waterfall hike. I think it should be quite nice. It's about 3-4 hours. Let's get some coffee going, get some rusks in the body, and get ourselves ready for a bit of a hike today.
Okie dokie, we're all packed up and ready to go for a little walk, go see if we can see this waterfall. I heard that the little pontoon or something wasn't really working, so we'll see how far we can get. But yeah, let's get going. It looks like a beautiful little walk. Looks mostly very well made, not a rough scramble through the forest like we are used to. Let's see how it goes.
I was really starting to look forward to getting out on these micro-adventures at each new destination. My favorite thing about it is getting a deeper understanding of the place where we were and getting to really see the different plants and trees close up. It's such a pleasure to explore beautiful places like this.
Can't believe all of this was hiding away just right in front of our campsite. We could hear the voices and occasionally see people's heads poking through, but you don't really realize exactly where it is behind all the foliage. But it's really lovely and dense vegetation. Very, very beautiful. Sure, we still got a bit to go until we get to the waterfall, but it's just nice to soak it all in. Got a little bit of that hogsback feel, but just nowhere near as dense. But it is really nice. So this is quite interesting. A little pond here, right on the water. so we've arrived. It's actually quite a lovely hike. There's the waterfall right over there. It's quite spectacular. It is about 5 k's to get you. It's definitely a good 10k walk. But I mean, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. I've often found with hiking that there's this temptation of going to go and see the waterfall, and a lot of times it's very underwhelming. But this is one of those rare times where it's actually really beautiful. It's not necessarily just the waterfall itself, but it's the rock formations and everything that's been carved by the water that's so impressive. And I mean, it's pretty steep. There's Andy struggling to climb rocks there. I don't even attempt that stuff. I'm just here for the walk and the beautiful scenery. But anyways, we're gonna make our way back to the campsite now, and we'll catch up with you guys later. We're busy planning to, you know, see what our next steps are gonna be while we're here in wilderness. I really want to get to Paradise 4x4 and hit the dunes, and I really hope I can make that happen. Anyways, 5 k's ahead of us. And that's the end of that walk back at camp. I love seeing our little setup. The 2 little red tents are so easy to spot from far away. So 9.67 k's. Not too bad. I've slowly been pushing myself a little bit more each time to try strengthen up my damaged foot. So now I'll give it a couple days break after this and just let everything kind of recoup. But yeah, I can definitely feel I'm doing better. I'm handling it better. Like my heart is handling it better, my lungs are handling it better. But my feet do get really, really sore. But that'll come with time. Same as on the bike. My butt gets really sore from cycling. But the more I do these kind of activities, the more I get out and the more I start using my body and enjoying the outdoors like this, I think it's just going to get easier and easier every single day. So just a little thing for those of you out there who want to try and motivate people who might be a little bit unhealthy to get outdoors. Don't put so much pressure on them. Make it fun. It hurts to be big and to be overweight, and it really going out and doing these things can be incredibly painful. And like I did on my walk in Kruger, I broke my foot because of it, because I was being pushed and I wanted to go further and keep up with everybody else. But when you are a different type of body structure and you're a different type of person, you've got to play by different rules. You've got to listen to your body, and when it hurts too much, you know, go a little bit more, but you need a rest and you need to have time in between. But now it's time to cook some grub, have a shower and settle in for the evening. So Surfshark is a VPN service. Essentially what that means is they create a barrier between you and the internet. They also encrypt all of the information that you're sending from your computer out to the internet, and you can then relay that information through another country like America or the UK or wherever. So if you're in a country that is maybe kind of has restricted internet access, maybe you're in Asia, parts of Asia and things like that, or parts of Africa and the Middle East, you can actually use a VPN to bypass some of those restrictions and gain access to content outside of that region. So it's quite an empowering tool, but it also helps you with your safety and security of your information for your social media, your banking, all of that stuff. You can also use it across multiple devices, from consoles to computers to cell phones, tablets, everything, and all of that is all included in your subscription. If you would like to get a Surfshark subscription, you can head to the link below and you can use the checkout code ROAM for 83% off and 3 additional months on your plan. Anyways, I just want to thank Surfshark for supporting the show, and I really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, let's get back into the action. Alrighty, so we all rested up. Had a lovely dinner, had some steak and stuff. I'm actually just cooking up some leftovers for breakfast, and today we're hoping to head out to Paradise 4x4, go hit the dunes. We've got a few more little plans just to kind of make this morning before we head that way. We'll head into town. I need some Wi-Fi and some signal and stuff just to upload the next episode of Rome, which is great. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. I am so keen to get out onto the dunes with this setup without the rooftop tent on and just go and have a blast out there. Anyways, I'm gonna finish up some breakfast and catch you guys out on the road. What a beautiful little spot. We've got paragliders here. Quite epic. I just want to get in the 4x4 and get hitting the dunes now. So we're also going to need to find somewhere to drop the bikes off and leave them locked up while we play around. But I must say, it is really beautiful having the sea right here and to be back on the soft sand again. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, let's get going.
Paradise 4x4 is it's a quirky place, to say the least. But once we got the bike secured and a vague idea of which direction to set off in, all we could do now was settle in and have some fun. Well, assuming I could remember how to do all of this 4x4 stuff again.
So what was happening there is I was trying to come up the hill without the diff lock just to see, you know, what the situation was. But as you come up the hill, there's actually these massive ruts. So what happens is the second your wheels go over the ruts like this, you're just going to end up losing momentum, and as you can see, just couldn't make it up. I went back on the last try, engaged the diff lock, and we just walked up because it can keep the momentum, it can keep the wheels spinning and all of that stuff, and it just took us up really nicely. So I haven't been on the sand in quite a while, so it's good to get out and start remembering all of this stuff all over again. But I think we've got quite a nice trail ahead of us, so let's get going.
Whenever I travel on terrain like this, it makes me so jealous of the guys who get to hit the sand often. It's such a fun way to wheel, but I must say it really does take some practice to get the most out of your vehicle on the soft stuff. So I always take it as an opportunity to keep furthering my learning of 4x4.
This is actually a super nice little trail. Beautiful here, driving through all the kind of dune vegetation and everything. With some nice soft sand, views of the sea all around us. It's really, really nice. It's got a bit of a dodgy feel to it for me. I mean, I've never really been to 4x4 trail where the guy, you know, accepting the money doesn't have a map or doesn't know anything about the trail. So that's a bit weird for me, but it's still really nice. So we'll just have a bit of fun here and see where it kind of goes. And yeah, let me focus.
The trail has these really narrow tracks snaking up and around the hill. So you get a couple nice climbs, some steep drops, and plenty of axle twisters. All in all, it's a great way to test your suspension and have a heck of a lot of fun.
So what I'm finding fantastic about wilderness is that this morning we were camping next to a river. Now, not even 10 minutes away from there, still with the highway in sight, we're out 4x4ing on the dunes. There's people paragliding around, there's guys on quad bikes. It's like a lot of life and a lot of adventure is being lived in this really tiny area. And it's really amazing to see. But I think we're going to be hitting some of the tougher obstacles over the next couple sections. So, time to stay switched on. Let's go. Yeah, that's a really steep climb. Basically, if you stuff up, you roll down the hill this way or you roll down the hill that way. And if you have to actually reverse back down here, that is not fun. So I'm gonna try and just carry quite a bit of momentum into this just to prepare me for what's going on up there. Holding thumbs, let's go. Yeah, this one I'm going to try, maybe starting with the higher gear. I gave it 4 really nice goes, but I'm not happy with how fast I'm having to hit it, and it's not really worth it. Maybe drop some tire pressures a little bit more, or just go faster, and I don't really want to do any of those things right now. But it's a real challenge, and that reverse down, it's a bit of a knape, that one. So sometimes it's okay to say no to an obstacle. It's okay to back away and not do it if you don't feel comfortable. We're on our own, you know, the vehicle's loaded for a very different purpose. We're just out to have a bit of fun today. And having fun means also knowing when not to play. I think there's also this kind of little bit of culture around 4x4ing where, oh, you gotta give everything full send and everything like that. But actually the reality is you gotta actually play within your bounds and within your comfort to really have fun. And every time you go out, you push it a little bit further and you enjoy and you learn more about your vehicle and things like that. But at the end of the day, we do this overlanding, 4x4ing, any of this outdoor adventure stuff to have fun and enjoy our bodies, our vehicles, and life. So that brings this journey to an end. We've done here in Wilderness, and we're gonna be making our way back home shortly. We might have one little stopover, but I think that's it for the filming. It's been such an awesome trip. We've had so many massive experiences traveling all around. It's so great to have Andy here with me along the whole way. And from, you know, using the Vagabond caravan to getting out and hiking and cycling more and doing a bit of 4x4ing, I really feel like I've lived an adventurous past 3 weeks. And I think that's, to me, what overlanding is about. It's about that feeling of adventure. It's about getting out there. It's about experiencing the world around you. And I don't think it needs to be painted in this picture of just buying lots of equipment and setting up your campsite and that's it. I think there's so much more to travel in Southern Africa, around the world for overlanding, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this journey, and I hope you guys are excited for what's to come in the future with Rome Overlanding. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode, and I'll check you next week, probably when I'm back in Joburg. So, cheers!
I just want to give my Patreon supporters a massive shout out. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you so much for sticking by me week after week. If you'd like to become a Patreon member yourself, consider heading to the link below or clicking on the Patreon icon on the screen now. Anyways, we will catch you next week. Cheers!